Hey everybody, this is me, Brian. I'm actually filling out my NCAA bracket right now, and as from what I saw, this tournament is going to be a very strong tournament. We don't know what to expect, but I'm actually filling out my last three spots for the Sweet 16, and I'm choosing the game with VCU against Michigan. I love Shaka Smart. I love Havoc, but at the end of the day, I think Michigan is going to be too much for VCU in that game. Now I have California versus Syracuse, and a lot of the West Coast teams really didn't get what they deserved, so I'm going to go with Syracuse. And to close out my Sweet 16, I'm gonna put Butler versus Marquette. I'm going with Butler in this game. Okay, so now I'm about to start my Sweet 16. In the Midwest region, I have Louisville versus St. Louis and Michigan State versus Duke. I have Louisville advancing in that game. All right, now I have Michigan State versus Duke. I have Duke winning that one. It's gonna be a dog fight, of course. Whenever you get Izzo and Coach K on the same court together, it's gonna be a good game. And I had Zach getting upset, so I have Pitt versus Wisconsin in this game. And when I look at it, I'm going with Wisconsin. Now, the most intriguing game in the West region is New Mexico and Ohio State. With this game, Aaron Craft is going to be a hawk. He's going to be an animal on the ball. He's very, very good defensively. So I'm leaning towards. I love New Mexico, but Ohio State is going to win this one. All right, now the Kansas versus Michigan game. It's gonna be a good one. I just think that in this particular game, Kansas and Michigan. I'm gonna have to come back and look at that one. All right, on to the next game, which is Georgetown and Florida. I'm going with Florida. Florida can put the ball in the basket, and when you put the ball in the basket, you win games. Georgetown cannot score worth nothing, so therefore Georgetown won't get past them. Indiana versus Syracuse. Indiana is just a better all-around team. I can't really see them getting challenged by Syracuse in that game. Now Butler versus Miami. In this game, I'm actually going to go with Butler Miami. Let me see here. Let me think long and hard about this one. I'm going with Miami. Because they have more athletes than Butler do, and Rodney Clark is eventually going to have a bad game, and plus Miami is just a really good team. So I'm going with Miami over Butler. Now back to this Kansas-Michigan game. I'm going with Bill Self and Ben McLemore. I'm going with Kansas. Alright, now for my Elite 8, who's coming out of the Midwest? Duke beat Louisville earlier this season, but they didn't have Gordon Jane. So therefore, since Jane wasn't available for them, I'm going with Louisville, because Duke has no answer for Gordon Jane. And Wisconsin versus Ohio State, rematch of the Big Ten Championship. I am going to go with the Buckeyes. Kansas, Florida. I have Kansas coming out of that game. Indiana, Miami. I have Indiana coming out of that So my final four is Louisville versus Ohio State and Kansas versus Indiana. Um, Tough games. At the end of the day, I see Louisville advancing. Since I see Louisville advancing from against Ohio State, I'm going to go with gotta go with Victor Oladipo. He's going to be too much. Along Oladipo, he, Cody Zeller is just going. They're going to overwhelm Kansas because Kansas have had stretches where they look like a bad team, so Kansas will be upset right there. And Louisville versus Indiana, I'm going with Louisville to win the championship. This is my official tournament bracket with champion Louisville, as you can see. All right, thank you. I'm gonna do it NIT bracket and a women's bracket. Well, I'm not gonna do a women's bracket. Never mind, because women's brackets are too predictable. It's going to be Brittany Griner winning the championship, so it doesn't matter. But I will be here talking about more of the tournament, and I'll be providing updates on free agency in the NFL, and looking forward to the NBA playoffs. And so, thank you everybody for watching, and let me know what you think of my tournament bracket, and I'll let you know. And let me see yours. Scan a picture of yours and send it to me, or whatsoever. Let's have some good, fun discussion. And let's keep it mature. All right. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.